Welcome, and grand risings, everyone. I hope you guys are having an amazing morning, guys. I've been hit by the hit squad. So I had some issues when my live started. Been trying to start it for the last half an hour. We're going to talk about that on a later note. Today we have a live set up. If you don't know who I am, my name is Miss Grace, and I'm here live 3 days a week in my kitchen where we talk about politics, social issues, and all types of things here from a non-biased perspective. All right, so today we're going to continue to talk about what's going on with the migration efforts from Trump, why he's mad, and why isn't he highlighting this particular group that we're going to talk about today that came into the United States in high numbers. I don't know if that's the reason why things happened this morning, but we're about to get to it right now. So let's start with, why is Trump mad? And he's mad because allegedly the deportation numbers is not up to par. So let's get it as YouTube send our notifications out. Let's go.
Under increasing pressure to boost the number of arrests and deportations.
Right, according to three sources familiar with discussions at Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, and at the White House, President Trump is said to be angry that more people aren't being deported.
NBC News Homeland Security correspondent Julia Ainsley joins us now with more of her, as per usual, exclusive reporting. Julia, good morning. Thanks very much for being with us. So tell us a little bit more about what you're hearing from your sources about the president's reaction to the number of deportations that we have seen so far.
Yeah, this is something I'm hearing, and so is Christian Walker as well, who of course covers the White House. We are understanding that Trump has been known to be angry, and inside that anger is being passed down into DHS and then to his borders are Tom Homan, who, as we understand, has been unhappy and making his unhappiness unknown on calls he has with ICE. Basically, they want these arrest and deportation numbers to be higher.
Okay, they starting to put the pressure down on Mr. Homan as he's allegedly pulling back the numbers of ICE officers in Minneapolis. I think at about 20,000, but he's coming into hell, a wreck, and shambles. But we already see where this is going. Trump is quickly changing his tone about his deportation efforts. Just a day ago, he was saying, "Hey, we're gonna pull back," and now you hear the undertone. Let's finish listening. Thank you for being here, guys. Please hit the like button as you come in. We're fighting to get in the algorithm. We're going to talk about
that data. We're not seeing as much as we used to. If you can remember, in the first 10 days of the administration, they would post these daily numbers. That we saw a lot of footage about ride-alongs. Now a lot of that has gone away. Homan blaming a lot of that on media leaks, that they're not able to share as much anymore. But in short, we understand that the over 1,000 a day that we used to see has dropped, and last week about their highest day was just over 800. And just for context, to make good on Trump's inaugural promise of millions of deportations, in order to get 1 million people deported in a year, they would have to be arresting and deporting over 2,800 a day. They're not near that number, even with all the help of ATF, FBI, and DEA that we've seen. So this anger could be passed down now to ICE, as we understand, and we'll see what happens from there. We know they're starting to send more people to Guantanamo Bay, and they want to make more arrests. But in short, ICE is a cash-strapped agency.
Now, that's a whole lie, okay? As we went over the budget, we already know that they're going to be getting over $120 million just for their ICE packet alone. We got to go over that budget on top of what they were just about to shut the government down for, because they're going to be getting extra money from the Congress, and they already received money for the big, better, beautiful bill. And we went over that in detail. So that is a lie. And it's so crazy, guys, because I mentioned to you guys that I do believe that us as United States citizens should support deportation of illegal criminal migrants. Okay, I do believe that there should be a calculated effort to do so, but it's so crazy because the way that they have been enrolling the efforts is not conducive of actually deporting the illegal criminal migrants. It's just so crazy. And the group that we're going to talk about today, you're going to, we're going to ask a lot of questions and just talk about some stuff, the why behind possibly why Trump is not focusing on particular migrants or illegals that came here in large numbers. But let's keep it moving because he's complaining, but the way they unrolled the ICE efforts has been ridiculous, unsafe, and they've been going against American citizens, unaliving American citizens. That's why your numbers are not up, because you're meeting resistance based on the way you're approaching this situation. But let's finish listening to Trump complain a little bit more. Thank you for being here with us, guys. Please hit the like button. Please, if you understand how much I'm struggling right now. I'm struggling.
Julie, you've also got exclusive reporting on a controversial plan by the Trump administration to restart the detention of migrant families, including those with young children. What are you doing there?
Now, this is a policy that was in place under the Obama administration and first Trump administration. Biden ended it. That's when you hold families, meaning adults with their children, 18 and under, in custody together, even very young children. There's certain parameters around that detention. They have to have school if they're there for a long period of time, and they have to have a number of ways to be able to be more humanitarian to that younger population.
We're going to stop right here with this particular news broadcast because we're going to come back and talk about what's going on in the ICE facility and what they're not doing and how many people are being hurt. So let's keep this going because this is the question here. Let's just put some statistics out because y'all know what I like to do, put statistics. Now, who has been the highest number of illegals who have been coming into the United States? If anybody know, please put it under there. We have a lot of Trump mega. So I hope you guys are real rounded on statistics and numbers because we're about to get to it. Mexico has the largest source of immigration to the United States for decades, with over 11 million Mexican border residents as calculated up to 2023, representing 22% of United States immigrants that's coming in. Okay, let's just talk about it. Other top origins of migration and illegal migration comes from countries including India, which is at about 3.2 million, China, which is about 3 million, Philippines, 2.1 million, and Cuba, 1.7 million. So we're just throwing some data out there for you guys because it's just so weird that Trump is just going after the brown people when the numbers show that the others come here in higher numbers. Let's go. Top source. Mexico remains the largest source though it shares the total foreign-born population has declined to 29%. So in 2010 to 22. Okay, so foreign-born nationals of Mexico's kind of went down to 22%, but it was 29. This is how much United States is actually a place of migration, immigrants. We're just talking about it just a little bit, but this is just the beginning. Recent trends, 2021 to 23, while Mexico led overall top countries for new arrivals into our country, United States, China has been a large, growing number of migrants coming in. Let's get to it. Why am I talking about this? Because not only have Trump has been ignoring this major group have been coming in, we have crazy relations with them, and they're out there pushing D rugs allegedly. So the Department of Justice press conference on charges announced against a Chinese national. Now this wasn't the one that I talked about last week, but this actually came out. Give me 1 second. We're gonna watch it together. About 20 hours ago. So let's get to it. Because we got a lot to talk about today. We're going to expand your mind. All right, let's go.
If I could just take a moment and introduce
Hit the like button. Thank you for being here.
individuals that are behind me. Over
I hope you guys can hear it.
Daniel Dunn. He's the Assistant Special Agent in charge for FBI here in the Jacksonville Division. Next to him is Noam Dominici of the Naval Criminal Intelligence Service. He is for the Southeast Field Office, NCIS. And to my right is Mike Cochran, who's the Acting Special Agent in charge of the Homeland Security Investigations, HSI. What we'd like to talk to you about today and what we'd like to announce today are charges on 11 individuals involved in marriage fraud and bribery. You will see that there are two counts. Count one is, in fact, the marriage fraud. Count two is the bribery, and they involved the participation of servicemen, mostly from Jackson Naval Air Station. Why is this? Why do foreign nationals engage in this fraudulent conduct? Well, if you are a foreign national and you marry an American citizen, it is much easier to obtain permanent resident status here in the United States. And
So, as they go through this commercial, we're highlighting some ways where they actually get their citizenship legally and sometimes go through a fast track. Now, this stands out to me because my uncle was an ICE agent, and I'm just going to tell you about a little story that kind of made him open his eyes. One day it was a big flood in the ICE office in New York, and basically the pipes flood and the drop ceilings dropped. It was hundreds of files that came down. These were people who were supposed to get their green cards and things done in a timely manner, and they were not. So my uncle started to pay attention to things. He really didn't talk in details about stuff, but we came to the conclusion. I asked him, I said, so was there a lack of applications going through with people being processed properly? And he was like, basically, you know, one hand washes the other, and sometimes paperwork gets pushed through that's not supposed to. So I'm thinking when it comes to some of the things we're going to show you today about how intricate the Chinese immigration pathways into the United States was, I do believe that they were a high recipient of these particular passes into the United States. So let's just keep going. Let's listen to this.
citizenship. Let's take these counts one by one. Count one is the conspiracy. All 11 defendants are charged with a conspiracy to recruit U.S. citizens, preferably members of the United States Armed Forces, to enter sham marriages to Chinese nationals for the purpose of evading immigration laws and illicitly obtaining lawful permanent status in the United States. The marriages were made with Chinese nationals, citizens of the People's Republic of China. This indictment charges that these illicit marriages took place in a variety of places: New York, Connecticut, Las Vegas, and most importantly, here in Jacksonville. The team behind, and schemes, I should say, in the plural, behind these sham marriages were extensive. Not only did they go through the processes of engaging these marriages, but they took photographs of marriage ceremonies, of celebrations of the marriage themselves, so these individuals could produce them to immigration services to try to legitimize the marriages and demonstrate that these illegal marriages were in fact legitimate.
All right, this is a 15-minute broadcast, so what I'm going to do is let you guys finish watch this, but this is the reality of it. Not only do they fake the marriages, they fake the relationships, the photos, they also get their fake wives and husbands and family members jobs. They start businesses, they get tax breaks. Yes, they don't have to pay taxes for a certain amount of time and all types of stuff that is actually ushered by our government. This is why I say we have to pay attention to the little details as well. Some of these incentives that they had for foreign nationals, because it actually allowed them or help enable them to bring more into our country illegally. But let's keep it moving because we have a little bit more to show you. Representative, let's see, Larman. Okay, let's get to this. Let's see what our Congress representatives have to say. Trying to make sure that everything is clear. Thank you for being here, guys. I had a issue this morning. We'll talk about it. They're literally trying to ban me from YouTube some way, somehow. Just to let y'all know. Let me see. Can we hear him? Why is this so low? Okay, let's play this real quick, y'all. So I do apologize. I started from the beginning.
A discussion, obviously, about the border, but specifically, the most alarming thing that a lot of the border agents, when I've been there and other members of Congress have been down there, one of the most alarming is the Chinese nationals that were being caught on a regular basis. So the fentanyl crisis is
Now, this is not a new clip of Brett Fitzgerald alarming us about this, but let's listen because Trump literally, and let me stop using that word. He went after Venezuela, Maduro for fentanyl and cocoa. But I'm telling you, the border, there's places in Mexico that has Chinese allegedly ran weed houses. Okay, from testimonies that I have just seen randomly on YouTube. Okay. I'm going just I'm not going to show you today that particular person, but I think I'll make a clip and put it in the shorts of a highly acclaimed YouTube content creator slash pastor who used to be an army man and he used to basically sell drugs. Yeah, it gets really deep. And that's before he changed his life. And he said when he went to Mexico, he was so determined to buy pounds of marijuana that he came across some Chinese cartels. And once he showed them the money, it was over. Okay, so we do, and I'm saying allegedly, have Chinese cartels in Mexico. Let's go.
obviously something that we're all aware of, but it's really Beijing and the flow of dollars that are coming across with the drug trade that I think, in my estimation, has really underscored the whole idea that this is in fact happening in a larger and larger kind of magnified area specific to the San Diego sector, which we see a lot of that happening right now. Any thoughts on that piece?
I think I'd just like to pick up on one of your comments as far as Chinese nationals of military age, males primarily,
Right.
are the largest ethnic group, if you will, to use lack of a better term, other than Latinos that are coming across our southern border. And once again, it frightens me because the CCP, China, Communist China, is skilled with asymmetric warfare. We don't know who these people are. We don't know where they are. We don't know what they're doing. And any Chinese that come to this country basically come with permission of the Chinese government. And once they're here, they are obligated by Chinese intelligence law to answer to and take orders from Chinese intelligence service.
So let's just stop right there and just keep that in mind, guys. We're just talking about some stuff, showing you guys what's going on. Thank you for being here. Again, my name is Miss Grace. Please hit the like button. I am under YouTube warfare, guys. Warfare. So let's watch this because we're going to kind of talk about the pathways of how they came here. This was a year ago. Surge of Chinese migrants crossed southern border into the United States. So while Trump was worried about all the brown people that's here and the people running down on construction workers that help our nation, they are still coming into the country right now. And we're going to show you, they bring drugs and all types of stuff, but they have this thing down packed. So let's just watch this real quick.
Migrants illegally crossing it. Tonight, among the unprecedented number of migrants illegally crossing into the U.S. from Mexico, a dramatic surge in people from China. We're on the border east of San Diego. This is a group that crossed a few minutes ago. Border Patrol just directed them to the open-air detention site. They tell us they're fleeing poverty and political repression, including the aftermath of COVID. Why did you leave China?
Freedom.
Was there something specific that happened?
Yes. COVID-19.
Yep. That is a whole topic in itself because when I talk about China and Russia building power on an international level, that doesn't mean that they're taking care of their people. When you watch what happened during the COVID, they were beating them. They were making them disappear. The doctor who actually was the first to see something wrong and diagnose a patient with the COVID, he disappeared. They try to disappear him. Yep. Let's finish watch this. They are going through poverty just like us. So I don't want you guys to think that their government is the same as their people. Just like I try to make other nations understand, our government is not us. They're making decisions that we don't like. And this is why they're surging over here for freedom. I don't know if they don't know what's going on here, though.
It's gone.
What did you used to do?
Engineer. Electronic engineer.
3 years ago,
Engineer.
689 Chinese migrants crossed the southern border. Last year, that number soared to over 37,000.
Now, keep this in mind. His background is engineers. Now, we mentioned that Trump is defunding the educational system here. He's not focused on anything to actually replace the things that he's destroying the educational sectors that we need, like engineers. But if you have these people coming in and you can pay them lower amount and get them set up, why not use them? Why not be quiet about their existence in the United States right now? Let's keep it moving. Let's just keep it moving.
Part of an explosion of migrants coming here from all over the globe. Currently, most migrants are released into the U.S. to wait often years for asylum hearings. Critics say that encourages migrants to come, and President Biden should change course through executive action.
The system has been broken for decades.
Why not take executive action right now? Why not do more right now to address this?
What executive action are you suggesting that we take that we haven't taken that would survive court scrutiny?
Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas telling us he's working with China, which currently refuses to take back Chinese migrants who are deported from the U.S.
Well, that may be.
Why doesn't Trump has a hard response to this? I'm going to get to your comments. Guys, thank you for being here. I hope you guys are enjoying the broadcast. Give me a second. I'm going to get to your comments. I just want to show you some things that's going on.
Changing. We have been working with the People's Republic of China to actually receive individuals whom we have determined are not eligible to remain in the United States.
Do you expect that to change soon?
We are hopeful that it will.
Back on the border, we meet this father and son who say their journey was facilitated by a Chinese smuggler they call a snakehead.
The snakehead would contact him through WeChat.
Listen, this is where we're going to kind of get into the intrinsic pathways. When I say intrinsic, they're deeply embedded in our system, with hotels playing a part in it, buses playing a part in it, charter buses, all types of stuff.
And give him directions on where to go and where to stay.
How did you pay this person?
The snakehead.
Everything was done online.
We obtained exclusive.
All right,
private
let this
messages from
commercial
one
get by.
claims to have brought more than 100 people to the U.S. this
Hold on
year.
a second. I thought it was commercial. Give me a second.
100 people to the U.S. this year. On social media, he posts these proof-of-life videos of Chinese clients traveling toward the border with help
Bus.
from Mexican smugglers.
They come in here. They come in here on buses, trains, boats, staying in hotels, walking through swamps. But the snakehead is the starting point, and I think we are going to see someone part of the snake that they have arrested in the last couple of days. Is a young guy.
They serve as ads for his concierge service. Ticket price $10,000 a head. Once they set foot on American soil, the smuggler's work is done, with many more customers ready to go. David Noriega, NBC News, Jacumba, California.
All right, the smuggler's work is done, but they actually have social services representatives that's helping these people acquire places to live. Places to live, places to work, starting their business and getting them IDs. Okay, it gets a little deeper. Chinese migrants facing growing group entering into the United States. Again, this is another red light, and no one's paying attention because guess what? Trump wants to be friends with China, highlighting that China owns a lot of our bonds, our housing market bonds. I keep highlighting this to you. We got deeply embedded into China's financial situation in the 2008 housing market. They bought a lot of the bonds, the government bonds, to get us back on our feet, allegedly. So let's just watch this, because this is a year ago. This is into Trump administration. And then we're going to show you what's happening today, because they're still making moves into the country. And that's why I kept saying, use the Border Patrol at the border, because they still need to be there. Then use our National Guard to actually make a wall. Why not? I mean, I think that'll fit their actual job descriptions instead of being out there kicking our asses, right, you know what I'm saying, and losing their lives as well. Because don't forget, we did have one, was it Border Patrol? Was he Border Patrol out there in Washington that got unalived? I don't want to disregard their side either. We're all losing here because they're not implementing this correctly. But let's go. Thank you for being here and hitting the like button. You guys, y'all want me to get to y'all comments before we start? So who is saying defund? Do I start from the bottom to the top? Okay, you showing stuff from the Biden administration, and it said Biden administration, and it shows 2023. Exactly. We kind of show you what's been happening. I'm not a Democrat or Republican, guys. Remember, my name is Miss Grace, and I'm a separatist. I separate from the BS, and I just show the truth here. So it's a buildup because it's two hands and one head. So yes, we are showing Biden administration, and sometimes I go even further back. Right? So thank you for highlighting that. And the frame before said COVID at the bottom. You're telling false information. No, it's not false because this leads into what's happening now. Have you heard Trump talk about Chinese nationals until now? Just a couple of hours ago, he ain't say nothing yet, but you have public officials saying, hey, it's a problem here. It's a problem here. We're going to show you. Because they found someone basically bringing Chinese national in just a couple of days ago. So yes, we kind of show the build up, not just what's happening here in the propaganda. So thank you for showing that. UK needs Trump. Oh, Kevin, good luck to UK. I thought you already had one when y'all had that other guy, Boris Johnson. Wasn't he out there? He was a whole fool. But maybe y'all need a little bit more. Dorothy, he says, I'd like to see your fact and saying they're defunding education. You're not telling the truth. I could see it. Everyone sees it. They knows it. What do they know? What? Go look at his policies. They did. They defund the federal education sector, which is supposed to be one of the regulation and oversight of our educational system state by state. So with that head right here being dismantled, each state is going to be manned down for themselves, and we're not going to be on a national agenda to betterment for education because each one is going to be doing their own thing. But if we have the head that is regulated correctly, even though they implemented the No Child Left Behind, people was just passed through the program. That's why we got whole people just like you out there, people like me who sometimes sound like my words don't sound like American English. We need a better education system. Yeah, that's defunding. It did happen. I'm just keeping it real with what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? So each state has right now is going to increase our taxes because they're going to need more money to run these high cost schools that they already have our taxes to the damn roof. You done got me to the left, girl. You done got me to the left. I love you though. Thank you for being here. Kind of skipping through y'all comments. A simple Google search says you're wrong. Tell me what I'm wrong about, okay? Trump is not defunding the educational system. We kind of highlighted that. Trump is doing a great job. Okay, let's see what happens because this is literally a roller coaster ride and we're in the same realms of Ovid. Every day it's something new, something going on, our adrenaline rushing. This is not normal. This is not good. I don't understand why you think this is good. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican, but I will say when Obama was in the White House, we did not deal with this shit every goddamn day. We're expecting something to go wrong with this administration. This is what you like? Chaos? Chaos is ungodly. Chaos is ungodly. Let's move on. I'll get to the rest of y'all comments, some more of y'all comments. Thank you for being here. Yes, we're moving into what's happening today, but let's just watch this because this was a year ago. So Trump should know this is going on. Then he should be focused on them as well because he hated China. He hated China.
The fastest growing number of people attempting to get into the U.S. may surprise you. It's actually China. From nearly 7,000
We're all
migrants
ignorant.
are making
Pat,
their way here
thank
to
you
the
for being
U.S.
here.
Officials in the San Diego sector of the border sharing this past week, since January, more than 4,000 Chinese migrants have been apprehended. That is hundreds per day. Now, one of the areas of the border seeing that higher traffic is Jacumba Hot Springs, California, and that's where News Nation's Jorge
Telling you, these Chinese people taking your job, you should be mad. You should be mad, especially since they have higher educational standards out there. You should really be pushing Trump administration to better our educational system. This your competition. Engineers. These ain't bums. These ain't people who's stupid that's coming over here. Get it together. Mega. Let's go.
is joining us live tonight. Jorge, tell us what you're seeing there.
So Natasha, with Texas Governor Greg Abbott beefing up border security in areas like Eagle Pass, Border Patrol agents here on the California border in Jacuma Hot Springs are seeing a massive spike in illegal crossings. But many of those migrants coming all the way from China. Sources in Mexico telling us that these groups from China are arriving at the Tijuana airport, and from there are actually being guided by smugglers to vehicles and are actually being taken to the outskirts of Tijuana to cross illegally through open holes along the border wall. That includes here in the city.
They look like they took a shower this
Here's
morning.
what we've seen once those groups arrived. Just days ago, around 120 miles.
Look, this is what they got off of them: gift cards, IDs. They're not coming here broke. They paid $10,000 to come here. They paid the snakehead to come here, and this is what we're watching. That's why I said we're all ignorant, because I knew you guys didn't know this was going on. This is what's creeping in. We have sleeper cells here allegedly.
Indio, California, Chinese migrants awaiting asylum hearings were caught with fake Pennsylvania driving license and thousands of gift cards last year.
Well, we're talking migrants, and then we're talking illegals, because this kind of, I see your question that says, are we talking migrants or illegals? We saw in the first broadcast that just took place where they say that they are bringing people here illegally, doing fake marriages, fake school visas. So once the nationals come here, they're bringing people here illegally. And sometimes they're not even marrying them. They're just smuggling them in. So we kind of got to talk about both of the subject, intertwine it when it comes to these nation of people, because they have been doing it very strategically. So that's why we're going between both, because it's migrants, this is the nationals, and then they're bringing illegals in. Does that make sense? All right, let's go.
7,000 Chinese citizens were apprehended at the southern border. That's 50 times more than just 2 years before. Several of these migrants are asking for political asylum, as visas for Chinese nationals are becoming more difficult to secure. In 2016, the U.S. issued 2.2 million of these temporary visas. Compare that to 2022, when U.S. only issued 160,000. NewsNation drone captured Mexican military conducting operations along the border to stop migrants from crossing illegally. It's the first time our team has seen any type of Mexican.
And they said 2016 as well. 2016. Who won in 2016? Y'all put it in the comments. They said 2016 as well. They had this program going on where they were issuing visas to these foreign nationals. Who was in the White House then? And someone in the comments says they recently found unauthorized Chinese biolabs in California with vials of diseases being harvested. Yes, a little bit after the COVID. I don't know if that's the one you're talking about. It was one that was abandoned, and it had all of these specimens left there and everything, and it kind of got swept under the rug, highlighting that foreign nationals were linked over it, and the creation of it through our higher educational institutions in America, the foreign nationals from over there. Oh yeah, it gets a little bit deep, baby. Yeah, thank you for being aware of that, Sutherland. Thank you. Let's go.
Military presence on the border in the area of Jacuma. There is no official word from Mexican officials on how long these operations will be conducted for along the southern border. Mexico stepping up its enforcement, as Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas claims that the Biden administration is responsible for a broken border, pointing to lawmakers.
Somebody in the comments said Trump is being extra aggressive, extra being key word, but he wouldn't do what he did to Venezuela with China or Korea or India. Yes, India coming up as the little head, probably the little toe of the 10 king theory. I didn't even know India was doing a thing like that. Yep, you're 100% right.
We don't bear responsibility for a broken system, and we're doing a tremendous amount within that broken system. But fundamentally, Congress is the only one who can fix it.
What? I thought Trump could fix it. I thought Trump could get all the illegals out here. So this is what we're not paying attention to. And yes, user MR, thank you. This is very important. Seek other resources for information as well. As I tell you guys, this is for information, educational purposes only. I leave all the links to everything I show you here. But what we do is we watch it comprehensively, and we use our critical thinking and not just go with the status quo. That's what happens here. We don't do just the one click type thing. I kind of let it bubble up and then we talk about it. But this is what just happened most recently. We're going to show you Texas Department. This was February 4th. This is what's happening right now. Okay, this is what's happening right now. I'm going to turn the camera my way because I don't want the pop-ups to come up on the screen. But DPS apprehend special interest alien Maverick Cole from South Texas region. But this is what makes it good because he's a Chinese national. Darrow, the Texas Department of Public Safety arrested an illegal immigrant for human smuggling and apprehended a special interest alien. It's called SIA from China during the Operation Loom Star trafficking stop in Morocco. Okay. On January 30th. So it's still happening right now, guys. January 30th, 2026, just after 11:30 p.m., DPS trooper stopped a gray Toyota Camry on the US 2277 for a traffic violation. During the stop, the trooper discovered 4 illegal immigrants, all dressed in camouflage, being smuggled by the driver. Of the 4 illegal immigrants, one was identified as Mr. Liu, 34, SIA from China. Remember what special interest alien. What's a special interest alien? Do you guys know what that is? He probably is a foreign national that's doing something for the government. Okay, allegedly. Okay, let's go to it. The driver, Juan Labaro, 35 years old, a legal immigrant from Niaganda, I'm saying that wrong, I don't know where that's at, was arrested and charged with 4 counts of smuggling a person and booked into Liu and the other 3 other illegal immigrants from Mexico, including juveniles, were referred to the Border Patrol. Okay, video from the traffic stop. Let's see if we can see the video. Where's the video? Is this the video? Okay, we're gonna watch the video from the traffic stop real quick. So this just happened. So we named all of the people, and someone in the audience actually did a great job. They had said, I was like, who comes into the United States the most? And somebody was like, Mexico. Yep, you're on point. Thank you for knowing the facts and not just running with it because you know what they're doing. They just trapping all around people and forgetting about others. So this is the video of the DPS apprehension of this gentleman. Okay, this is just happened January 30th. Yo. They're smuggling people in, wearing army uniforms. Let me see if it have any volume, y'all.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How Patrol. Hey, the reason for stopping is you're speeding, okay, and how fast we're going?
Oh, no, the house key.
¿Eso what?
Yeah.
Yeah, what? ¿Habla español?
Sí, poquito.
Sí, okay. ¿Poquito o no?
Más o menos.
Más o menos. ¿Dónde vienes, sir?
Estoy aquí, a San Antonio. Andaba aquí.
¿Vas a San Antonio?
Sí.
¿Quién más viene con ustedes?
4 amigos.
¿Son 4?
Sí, 4 amigos.
¿Dónde vienen?
Vamos para San Antonio.
No, ¿de dónde vienen?
Andamos trabajando, hago detail.
¿Hace qué, perdón?
Hago detail.
¿Detail? ¿Dónde?
Por donde sea.
Ok, pero ¿de dónde vienen ahorita, sir?
Ahorita vengo trabajando aquí como 2 kilómetros.
¿En qué trabajan?
Hago limpieza de carro.
Bajas del carro, por favor.
Thank you, Stanley. God bless you too. All right, so this is their arrest, guys. This is not a long arrest video, but this was a little bit information and a few others that's coming up about what's going on. As you see, they already addressed the marriage scandals that's going on, and that should be the worst. You know why? That should bother you the worst. Not that they're bringing people illegal here and marrying them, but that pathway right there not only sets them up with ID, maybe some help, business setup. It does a lot. It does a lot. These people have an amazing setup here. Okay, so this is another thing that just happened February. I went to flip the camera. I do apologize. This is what happened February 3rd, guys. Something's going on here. Okay, Chinese national extradited from Guatemala to face charges in narcotics trafficking, money laundering, and materially support of terrorism. Terror. This was Tuesday, February 3rd, and this is brought to you by the Office of Public Affairs of the U.S. Department of Justice. So let's see what's going on. Is Trump starting to hone in on who actually has the biggest number of migrants here? Let's go. Let's see what they're saying about this right here. Chinese national, it says Xing is an XU. Xing, Chinese national, was extradited from Guantanamo to the United States yesterday to face an indictment returning to the Eastern District of Virginia, charging him with conspiracy. Hold on, y'all. Importing into the United States, laundering money. Y'all talking about the people who come here just bums. We talking about people who have whole networks set up. Laundering money, diverts from drug trafficking operations and trafficking operations. Ooh, baby. According to the court document, beginning in the last November 2023, and continue until his arrest in Guantanamo Bay, July 2025. Shout out to Trump. I'm just going to give it to you. You got this guy. When Yang and his conspirators allegedly used a variety of methods, including mirror transfers, encrypted communication application, serial number verification systems, and trade-based money laundering to launder narcotic proceeds on the behalf of transitional criminal organizations, as well as fund representatives to be narcotics processors. Ying also allegedly conspired with the individuals in the United States and elsewhere, including Colombia, to smuggle multiple kilograms loads of cocoa into the United States on or about July 17, 2025. Ying and other alleged agreed to arrange a facility of transportation of kilograms loaded of cocoa out of California, Colombia, on the behalf of individuals who claim to be representative of CJNG. Oh my God, y'all. CNG is known as a foreign terrorist organization called Cartel de Los Nuevas Gonzales. I said that terrible. What the hell? Like, so it's Chinese and Mexico and Cuba that's kind of like, well, these, how can I say, illegal criminals that's working together to get these people here. All right. So it said Juan was arrested by and held in Guantanamo Bay since July 2025. And he is facing a minimum of 10 years up to life in prison. The federal district court judge will determine any sentence after considering the U.S. sentence guidelines and other statutory factors. So this must be big because this is actually on the Justice Department website. Okay, so now when it comes to getting people who are criminals, illegal criminals, this is what they're supposed to be doing. Not running down on Americans, not running down on us, just shooting us and all types of stuff. So this is January last year. This is an article. I'm just trying to break down that this has been an issue that has been bubbling up and no one is paying attention. And lastly, we're going to show you a video of this Chinese lady. She rogue, y'all. I know she rogue because it's so bad in China that these people, because I told you what happened to the doctor. He literally tried to save people and say, yo, this is something crazy, da da da. They try to silence him, try to kill him and all types of stuff. You know what they have to do? They have to do like makeup videos to get information out. So I'll be watching everything. You have the Chinese girls, they're talking about, yeah, so this is what happened when my uncle raped me and the makeup looks really good. And this is how they have to get their messages out. So the video that I'll show you, that lady is rogue. She's rogue. And we're going to have to pray for her protection. So as the third largest immigration group in the United States after Mexico and Indians, immigration of Chinese nationals has become an issue. The population experienced continuous growth for decades, peaking to a nearly 2.5 million in 2019. I just want us to be focused. Okay, I just want us to be focused. No, I'm not telling y'all to go after China, but we're going to have to pay attention, guys. China immigrants in the United States number slightly more than 2.4 million in 2023, representing a partially rebound of the pre-pandemic levels. So they just started coming right back. And I can't be mad because I showed you some of these Chinese people that's coming through, and what happened to them? Y'all thought what happened to us was bad? Yo, they were locking them inside of their houses. They were using metal doors, locking them inside their houses, snatching people who had allegedly positive tests that that PCR test was, let's not talk about it. Snatching them up, locking them in facilities for weeks. Oh, they got done dirty. They got done dirty. So, it's the haves versus the have-nots. I'm just keeping it real. I'm trying not to be a have-nots, but they put us in that category anyway. We just telling the truth. The growth in the unauthorized immigration from China has drawn considerable attention in the last 2 years. Encounters by the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol, Chinese national arrived without authorization at the U.S.-Mexico border jumped from approximately 2,200 in the fiscal year of 2022 to 24,000. It says 2,000. Damn, look at the number. I'm sorry, because y'all probably can't see. It says 2,000. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. And they won't even take them back. I'm just keeping it real. See how we went from legal migration to illegal? Okay, let's just sum this up real quick before we see from the Chinese lady who went rogue. We're going to pray for her. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, that's a lot. 2022 to 24,300. In 2023, 38,000. 2024, it says, and in 38,200 in 2024. So the numbers keep increasing of the illegals. Okay. And at the U.S.-Canada border, nearly doubled from 6,700 in 2022 to 12,400 2 years later, and that's 2024. I'm not making these numbers up, guys. Okay, so this is just reference. I'm going to leave this article for you guys to read it yourself. We're going to finish off here. The rapid increase reflects the pending social and economic challenges in China, coupling the long waiting period for green cards. What happened when my uncle had said when all that things came down through the ceiling, and I was like, hey, so what, did y'all slow down processing application? He said, we ain't skip a beat. So this rapid increase reflects the deepening social and economic challenge in China, coupling with long-waited periods for green cards and additional scrutiny for work, students, and long-term U.S. visas for Chinese citizens. So they like, look, if y'all don't want to give it to us, we coming over anyway. Like, it looked like an opportunity. I don't know why they be thinking America is a hope and a dream and an opportunity. They get here, we be in the second slavery and shit. It's debt slavery. A lot of people got money because y'all got credit cards. If you ain't had credit cards, you've probably been under the damn water. Now, I'm keeping it real. Me too. People keep looking at America like, yeah, they doing good. We got fake credit that there is literally high interest. I'm just reminding y'all. So let's watch Miss Lee. Her name is Miss Real Talk, Lee Real Talk. We're going to watch a China dark supply chain. Why parents no longer feel safe. What's going on? They stealing kids? Oh, geez, let's watch this together. This is January 20th, 2026. And let's see what she has to say. I like it. She seems like she cool. Let's watch it. You know, we watch diverse news here from all around the world to kind of get a comprehensive perspective and expand our horizons. If you like what we do here, hit the like button because I do things very different from many creators. What we do here, we think, and we don't just keep parakeeting what everything is saying. We kind of like deep dive and like, what the hell going on? Because everybody be lying sometimes. Let's go.
China has a supply chain that no other country has. This supply chain involves state security, public security, hospitals, biotech companies, airlines, high-speed rail, and most disturbingly, schools. What industry is this? Well, saying it out loud could cost your life, as we've
This
seen
why they
in the case
running.
of the actor who died. In China, some people called it 150-year industry. So where does that name come from? It came from this picture. Remember this? September 3rd last year, when Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin were talking about how humans could live to 150 years old when they were on their way to the military, to watch the military parade. At the time, many people laughed and thought that Xi Jinping was joking or bragging.
Oh my
But he
God.
wasn't joking. He wasn't bragging. He was expressing confidence in what China's medical system can do. And now more people are starting to understand what he meant.
Oh God, wait. This is not the video, but this is the one that I kind of was watching where basically they're using imidachrome, blood, AI, and technology to elongate their life. This was not the video I supposed to show you guys, but let's just turn it. I'll be watching some other stuff, and this is. I know she's rogue because she wouldn't be able to say this, but maybe this was something that God wanted you guys to kind of me be able to talk about a little bit because they're doing some crazy things. This is the 10 King theory. They're trying to live forever as though the fallen angels did. So let's just watch this one. I have another clip. I do apologize. It threw me off like, oh shoot, that's not what I wanted to talk about, but I'm just going to keep it real. I talk about all types of stuff. It goes from spiritual to biblical to socio-economic, everything. We can talk about it all here. But I do think that these leaders not only are trying to implement the 10 King theory, but also try to live forever. This is what these elites are doing. Look. As y'all go down the pathway with the Epstein files, I won't be touching that too much, but maybe if I need to educate you guys about the spiritual realm of what they're doing, we'll talk about that. But yeah, that's what they were doing with the kids. They're trying to live forever as well. I know I went to the left, but let's go. Okay, so following Chinese migrants, okay, treacherous journey to America, border short. Let's watch this as we bring our broadcast to end. I want to say thank you so much for being with us. This is like a 3-minute video. Let's watch this. Let's watch it.
Hi, I'm Wei Du, and I recently produced a documentary called Walk the Line. Chinese nationals are now the fastest growing group of illegal migrants
Wait,
entering
mind
the
you,
United
this
States.
is new. This is a January broadcast, okay, that they put out.
In 2023 alone, we're talking about more than 37,000 Chinese citizens entering the U.S. via the southern border. That's more than twice as many as the total from the decade before that. For 7 weeks, my crew and I followed a group of these Chinese migrants across South and North America to really get an idea of what this journey is like and
This is the $10,000 journey, guys, starting at the snakehead. We have more to show about this. Not today, though. Look, they're rolling the tissue.
We traveled across Ecuador, Colombia, Panama, Mexico in order to get to the United States. And along the way, we encountered human smugglers, drug cartels, and border officials, all involved in a business of moving people.
27人失踪了。
是中了传翻了。不管问题是什么目标，达成生命是吧？
Oh.
We also met different migrants,
I
mom,
feel so
dad,
bad. I feel so bad for them guys. I'm telling you, it's hard out here for just the basic person. If you're not elite and rich, don't think that you're part of the club. I just look at people as human. I'm sorry, you hurt my heart. I don't like that. It made me cry. Y'all know Grace Levi got a heart.
Lucy, Uncle Wang, Auntie Lan, just to name a few, each with their own reasons for leaving China.
我就想到我的孩子他的以后的出路不要像我这么累。
We also witnessed stories of desperation,
我觉得不好，还有危险。
danger,
Told you,
that's fine,
swamps.
and humiliation.
衣服全部脱掉搜，女的一个都不放过。
And a track through the Darien Gap, a dense jungle controlled by a drug cartel that is one of the world's most treacherous migration
The swamp,
There have been reports
buses.
of raping women, children, all their gangs.
So in the midst of this, they're actually going through child abduction as well. In that video that I kind of skipped over there, the parents, it says parents are worried because of some of the practice that the Chinese elites are using for their beliefs in this particular purpose to feed the smugglers. That's why they were saying that a lot of men were coming through the border during the Biden era, kids on their arm. We was like, where's the woman? Where's the women? That's what made me so nervous because it was so many men coming through. Now, I know we need more men in the United States because there's more women than men, but baby, I was like, oh, hell no. This made me nervous. So let's just watch this real quick. Thank you guys for being here with Miss Grace. Please hit the like button. I appreciate you guys supporting this platform.
I think what's really powerful in this documentary is to watch the U.S. border crisis unfolding in front of your own eyes and get a sense of the reality facing these Chinese migrants after they reach America.
What happens when they reach America?
有点让看见的条件。
What do y'all see Chinese people outside like that? Just let me know if y'all have seen them. I don't see them out in the street like that. So that's why I know they get help when they get here. I don't care what nobody say. I don't see them. Only one Chinese guy I seen yesterday when I feeding the homeless. And he's an older Chinese man. He's so cute. He made my day yesterday. But it's not a lot of them out there. I'm just keeping it around. And if y'all don't know, I feed the homeless every Wednesday in Atlanta. Go check out the broadcast. We got up to 99 yesterday. Please hit the like button. God is the glory.
像没有走出中国一样。
Catch Walk the Line, premiering soon on CNA and the CNA Insider YouTube channel.
Hold up. See, these the videos, y'all. All right. So what I'm going to do is you see it's like 46-minute videos and it goes into details. I watched this a long time ago. I'm going to put that at the bottom of the link for you guys so y'all can watch the pathways. I told you they go through buses, boats, mud, swamp, mountains. I feel bad for them. And then on the pathways, they're getting art. Kids are being abducted and sold to these people. And it's still going on right now. So my thing is, too, I had asked this question. What will be some of the complications if Trump actually starts to go after foreign nationals? So targeting challenge of foreign nationals, particularly those without visas and they have been revoked, will cause a problem, potentially affecting U.S. and China relationship, diplomatic escalation. We already know he be trying to hold his tongue, but he kissing China butt and mad at the same time. Beijing generally meets U.S. escalations with a passionate response. Targeting its citizens could lead to a reciprocal restriction on the United States nationals in China, which they already have done, including business leaders and academics. Because I told you, a lot of foreign nationals are here in our higher institution. They were working on and other things. They're here working on medicines for us and things like that because we ain't doing it. Because we ignorant. We ignorant Americans because we just want to have fun and chill. I just keep it real. Shut up. I add myself into the equation, but I think I'm a high level thinker. That's why we have these broadcasts. But anyway, what will go on? So this will erode potential relationships. Recent discussion have hit at the possibility of a grand bargaining going on between Trump and China, involving trade, regional influence. Aggressive moves against individuals could derail the high-level negotiations by making compromising political imposement towards China, Beijing, and all of these other places that he's not addressing. Okay. So with that being said, I'm not going to go more into it. I think we laid a lot down here today. I want to say thank you for being here because I had to start my live about 4 times. I think I have been zapped. I think I'll talk about that on another broadcast. Yes, I am suffering censorship and I'm fighting the algorithm. No matter what, no one will shut my mouth. Even if I have to just pick up a spoon and just talk to you guys telepathically through the spoon, I'm going to do it. So I'm not going to complain. I'm not even going to complain today. I'm not going to let the devil get to me. But I will say that nothing will stop Miss Grace Levi, because guess who walks with everyone if you choose to give your life to him? Our Lord and Savior, Yeshua. Let's go. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'll be here. I will be here. Let's go. Please hit the like button and support us on our Wednesday's food giveaway. We're feeding up to 100 displaced people every Wednesday. Thank you for being here, guys. Hit the like button. I'll see you tomorrow morning.